Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Aquarius in May 2019. Hello, Aquarius. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. All right, guys, shuffled off camera. That's your main spread there. Shuffle now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up, that's when the reading begins. If you want to skip ahead, there will be a timestamp in the description box below. Go ahead and click it. Also down there is all the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. Now, if you've been thinking about doing that, you weren't so sure, for the sake of saving you a little bit of money, I would say do it sooner rather than later, because in June I will be raising the price for that reading. It is the most in-depth reading that I offer, so to reflect that, the price will go up, but I'll also be introducing two new and different types of readings that I could do for you, and so you'll see all that stuff debut in June. But if you want to work with me now at my most in-depth reading possible for the cheapest price, I'd say book before June. All right, Aquarius, let's get into this, okay? Yeah. I was like, is there something else? No. I've just had a little bit of a day. Not a long day, but just like a tiring day, yeah? Anyway, let's go ahead and get you your outcome, okay? Please show me Aquarius's outcome in May 2019. Outcome for Aquarius in May 2019, please show me. Wow. Quick. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. All right. How's that look? Looks pretty good. Let's flip this last remaining card. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And let's see what's going on with you. Please show me Aquarius in May 2019. Please show me Aquarius in May 2019. Please show me Aquarius in May 2019. Come on. Okay, thank you. It took a while, but here we are. All right, guys, coming into May, you come in with the Three of Cups. So, well, stepping out, eh? You and your friends, maybe hitting up the town, hitting up some clubs, hitting up some bars, maybe just hanging out, going to festivals, what do you call those things? Food fairs, things like that, like local events, things like this. Like, I feel that you're coming out. Maybe, you know, you've been on hiatus. Oh, someone like has been released from something. You're coming out of something. It's May, so maybe some of you were like in school and you're graduating and you're gonna have a graduation party, or you know, maybe you've finished something and you're now coming out with friends, or you're going out with people to celebrate that you're out of something. Now, I feel school, maybe some of you have had a project you were heavily invested in that now that you're free, you have more free time. Some of you might be celebrating like a dissolvement of a certain relationship. I don't know. But there is this coming out. Maybe some of you have actually come out, you know, good for you. Come out of the closet, whatever you're doing. Cool. But there's this, besides maybe you're, you know, grabbing drinks with friends, the motivation here is for you, Aquarius, being really preoccupied, otherwise, you know, indisposed, and now you can celebrate. I feel most of you are having something to celebrate. Like I said, a graduation, you know, finishing with a project, maybe you've sold something, maybe some of you are in the creative field and maybe you've like sold a book or a script, something like that. And you have reason, or you feel you have reason, even if you're not celebrating a sale or a graduation. Like some of you, like I said, some of you maybe dissolved a relationship and you're like, girls, let's hit it. Yeah, I finally got rid of that bum. I finally dumped him, blah, blah, blah. And now you're just like, let's go out. Let's see what's on. Let's see what's out there, you know? And I like it because I think you feel, I like it because you feel you deserve it, basically. Now, I think it's a temporary fix or a temporary, like anything that's a celebration. It can't last forever. You know what I mean? So I'm afraid for a few of you, not the majority, but a few of you, the high and the exhilaration and the excitement and happiness and all that good feeling of when you go out and celebrate whatever you're doing, having a good time, you know, laughing it up, drinking, all that kind of stuff, it's all short-lived. You know, you can't live in that energy all the time. So, and it's more than just the time that you're celebrating. I think for some of you, you're so enthusiastic about going out because you've been in a not so great space previous to this. Others of you, it's been like a work, school, project kind of thing, and you were preoccupied, like you were dedicated to a specific task, or you had a specific goal. Now that you've reached your goal, your celebration or the high and the good feelings that are associated with that celebration will last longer in that group. For the group where maybe you're celebrating a divorce or some type of breakup, or you're celebrating the finalization of something that was daunting, something that was stressful or really contentious between you and another person, okay? You know, maybe you've settled a lawsuit with, you know, an old landlord of yours or something like that. That stress and that anxiety and that just like bogged down feeling will sort of sprinkle around. I don't know if sprinkle around is the correct phrasing. It's not. But you see what I mean? Like, it's residual. There's a little bit of residue that's going to be left over from that. So yes, you're happy to be done with that relationship. Yes, you're happy you don't have to go to court anymore. You've signed all the legal documents that needed to be signed, and you're done with that whole, you know, chapter of your life. But there's still like a sting left over that you feel. So the Three of Cups for that group is very temporary. The other group, you get to ride high for a little while. You get to, you know, scroll through your Instagram and your Snapchats. Well, I guess you don't scroll through Snapchats, but you get to, you know, relive those memories of the night that you're celebrating. You get to hang out more because, you know, you have graduated and you do get a job. You do have a job, or maybe you're job hunting. And in the meantime, you're just going to enjoy life for a second. Something like that. So I think that's a solid place to start. I think, yes, as I look down, yes, okay. Wow, perfect. So what I was talking about this feeling stressed, feeling bogged down, feeling that residual residue, but that residual feeling, that annoyance or, you know, tenseness is here in that Nine of Swords right above you in reverse. I'll show you this upright so you can become used to it. So in this reverse position, as it's right above where you start, I'm feeling that it's very much still in the forefront of your mind. It's in your recent memory. It's not something that has long been gone from your experience, gone from your day-to-day life, Aquarius. So again, even if it's for that first group where you're graduating or you're done with a project, you put in hella hours on those final senior projects. You had a thesis and it drove you all kinds of batty while you were working on this thing. So even, you know, just remembering working with your professors and your mentors, and like some of those relationships were kind of odd or hard to navigate. That also will be there for you guys a little bit, but because that big celebration of graduating, of being finished, of having sold the book, sold the manuscript, and now you can like let go of it, it's a lot easier. But it's still there, but it's a lot easier than the other group where you've dissolved a marriage, you've had a legal issue that's wrapped up, and maybe you still in some form or fashion have to communicate with those people or that person. Maybe still, you know, especially in the case of like a divorce or a breakup, you know, you're moving out or they're moving out, but you know, that's not going to be done like overnight. So you go and you pack things up and you pick up this item, and it has sentimental value, and then you're flashing back to like your second or third date when you guys went to the carnival and he won you that teddy bear or whatever, and you're just like, shit, When is this going to leave me? I want it out of my life. So there's this wanting it to be done. And for the most part, it is done. I'm going to say, like, if I had to quantify it for you, I'm going to say, like, for most of you, 90% of whatever was bothering you before is done. So in the case, again, of those who have graduated, because a lot of times that happens. You graduate, you get to attend the ceremony, but, grades haven't been posted yet. So some of you are, like, having, like, that anxiety waiting for your one professor to enter the grade so you can finally be done with this college career or whatever the hell you're working on. Something like that. So it's around. It's in your mind, but it's much more reduced. It's much more reduced than it ever has been. The stress level, the anxiety, the panic, the feeling of some of you, like, legit were having, like, panic attacks involving this person or the situation, and that is just like, it's dissipating. If it's not fully gone, get ready for it to be gone as the month progresses, and definitely as you go into June. Like, I feel like this is, don't worry so much, okay? Even if you have those residual feelings and when you see the person, you get snapped back to a memory, don't worry about it. Take it head on in the moment, but, realize those moments in that relationship and these circumstances are now gone. They're not part of your present life. That's just your mind having, attachment to the past. It's okay. You'll be all right. Now, what you have working, all right, so you're celebrating, right? And you have that anxiety in the back of your mind, really. I mean, it's in your mind in the sense of it's going to pop up with semi-frequency, but it's in the back of your mind in the sense of you can put it away. Like, you can squash it pretty quickly, I feel. Yes, okay, thank you. Yes, of course, thank you. Because these are, yep, okay, thanks. So Page of Swords in reverse, right next door. So I'm feeling that after the celebration, right? Because I'm feeling, yeah, thank you. After the celebration, particularly those who are, again, graduating from a program, from college, whatever, finished with a project, I feel that you're feeling grown up. Because this page, pages are usually aligned to children or childlike energy or immature energy, right? And so now that you've passed through, you've had that ceremony of graduating, now you feel like, oh man, here I am entering my true adulthood. Or now that you've got your doctorate, now you can feel like a full-on academic or a full-on, a botanist or whatever you've done, whatever you've worked towards. Like, there is an acknowledgement that now that I've crossed this threshold, I can no longer be, or not that I can no longer be, but it kind of, for a few of you, this is not for everybody, for a few of you, it kind of gives you the clout that you've been wanting. So if you're in a competitive field, or you've been working alongside other doctorate students or mentors and things like that who in some way you could tell like were doubting you, or they were really hard on you and they were like not super supportive. I feel like some of you now are going to take that diploma, take that degree and go like shove it in somebody's face, or like shove it up against the glass, like that scene in Good Will Hunting. How about them apples is kind of like what I feel for a few of you. Others of you, you'll handle it with grace, and the page is kind of coming out differently where it's now affirming to yourself, I am in another bracket. I have moved on into another realm, another category, and it's not egotistic or anything like that. It's more of like well, now that I've graduated, like some of you may be graduating, again, with doctorates or something like that, and your next phase is to, start a business or, start in on something. So it's like you're realizing that you can't, to some degree, you can't play naive. To some degree, you can't play as if you don't have the knowledge or experience. And okay, thank you. you're going to step up into a role that is more based on leadership, or requires you to kind of take the helm or take the reins of something. That's what I'm feeling for those where this is a professional career and or, you know, education, academic area. We're moving on. We're going to elevate ourselves is how that feels to me. For the group where this is a person, or you're dealing with divorce, settlements in the courtroom, disputes in the courtroom, lawsuits, things like that. There goes that damn song. It's so loud. That's kind of funny because for a second, like, that kid looks like they're singing the opera a little bit. That was funny. Anyway, this other group where it's about you have someone has, not you necessarily, but someone has previous to this point been kind of sneaky in the situation. Okay, thank you. Here we go. Someone has been spying. I hate to, because I don't always get it, but I got it today. With the Page of Swords in reverse, someone has been or is continuing to spy on you, or you on them, or something like that. And there's like this eavesdropping kind of situation, or there's this, for some of you, like looking through your garbage, or like trying to look into your social media, like trying to, you know, backdoor hack you or something like that. And it's been unsuccessful, or will be unsuccessful, or there's some kind of misinformation. So, you know, God forbid any of you are dealing with this. I'm not, I don't want to like give anybody like something to be fearful of, but it feels like you have an ex or someone you were dating and they don't want to let you go, and they have preconceived ideas of what you're doing now. So they're texting you, you're not texting them back. So they fill in the blank, oh, you must have a new man, or you must be dating a new bitch, something like that. And it's just like, and then when you go out, oh, is that it? When you go out with friends, or you go out with a group of friends, and they peep you, or they, you know, they're on your Instagram or whatever, and they see photos put up, and you got your arm wrapped around a guy who's just a friend of yours, but your ex sees that and goes like through the roof, or feel, not necessarily, I don't want to scare anybody, but they might just feel confirmed. Oh, I knew it. I knew she was fucking that guy. I knew it. You know, and it's just like, no, that's just my friend. I would never with him, ever. You know, and it could be like that. Like some kind of jealousy is here, or insecurity is here with whoever this is. And they keep tabs on you. That's funny. I'm saying keep tabs, and then I'm seeing like computer tabs, like browser tabs open, like Googling you, again, looking at your social media, doing all this stuff. And I think the reason that it's in reverse, because that is sometimes present when we have it in the upright. The significance of it being in reverse is to show either how immature that person is, and or to show how unstable they are, like reckless. There we go. Reckless is a better word, not unstable. And insecure attachment to you, or you to them. If this is you, if you've got tabs on your ex open and you're looking at his or her social media, you know the deal, okay? So I'm not a fan of that particular situation, because I don't know where that's going to go. I don't know how that's going to affect you. I don't know if you're aware. And if you are aware, I don't know what you're supposed to do about it. Maybe you're not supposed to do anything. It is a page and it is in reverse. So there might be, for some of you, there might be like a minimized like impact. And it's a page, and pages aren't anything to be super frightened of. Like, it might weird you out. You might be like skeeved out a little bit. Like, you're still thinking of me? Bro, we broke up like 6 months ago. What's your problem? Something like that. Or, you know, it's just like, it's a little weird, this person's jealousy or insecurity towards whatever you're doing now. And for those where again, the graduates and everything, this could be someone who is watching you too, and they could be jealous, a friend, a frenemy, something like that. I'm not a fan of this, but I wouldn't worry too much. I just feel from everything that's down there, I just think you shouldn't worry too much. If you do worry too much, if it gives you peace of mind, tell that person to back off, go and get, the authorities involved, tell your friends, listen, if I come up missing, you know who to look for. If it gives you peace of mind, let people know that you're uncomfortable, let that person know you're uncomfortable, and and be proactive against it. But if you think it's not a big deal, I would say it's probably not a big deal. Okay? Ay. Who knew a little page could be so annoying, or not annoying, but just persistent, right? This person is kind of persistent. Oh, and I didn't mention swords, page of swords could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And if they're not, a lot of this, okay? Or the intention to do that. If they're not talking to you, they want to talk to you. If you're not talking to them, they're texting you. How come you're not talking to me? It's that. Like, there's a desire to communicate. There is a desire to bury the hatchet, or, oh, that's a bad turn of phrase to use. Anyway, you know what I mean. To settle, to get, air. You know what I'm trying to say. And I just chose the wrong phrase in that moment. I apologize. But yeah, there's this idea that this person could be a little chatty or want to chat. Yeah. Okay. So what we have now is, interestingly, you have like a little bit of a mirror, like these two are reversed and these are upright. And for my mind, which is interested in symmetry, you've got something going on here in a symmetrical way. And when that happens, excuse me, there's like a theme that I need to pick up on, or some kind of connection, some type of bridge between these two parts. So, yeah. Might have to pause. My throat has been bothering me today. Yes, hold on. I'll be right back. Alright guys, sorry about that. Had to get a drink of water because my throat. Now, I think this Empress in reverse, right? I'll show you upright. Major Arcana card associated with Libra and Taurus. So you might have a Libra or Taurus in your life of significance, but you don't have to. I did mention that here, right? For some of you, not all of you, but maybe it will kind of show up a little bit for everybody in a different way. But with the Empress in reverse, there's like a lack or a turn down, or just a not as how can I describe it? Okay, so like I'm seeing, like, what do you call those? Like a silo or something like that, like a store or a warehouse, something like that, a warehouse, right? And in a warehouse, what's the purpose of it? Is to keep things stored, is to keep things at a certain level, you know what I mean? Like resources, right? And I see for you, Aquarius, some of you are viewing your warehouse to be like almost empty, or you feel that way. And I think this is a perception. It's not necessarily true, but you believe it's true. And so what would be in the Empress's warehouse? Well, beauty, sexuality, abundance in terms of material wealth or material goods, right? So a good car, good job, a little bit of money in the bank, right? Having food in the fridge, clothes in the closet, things like that. And maybe that's true. Maybe some of you aren't really, on top of your game in that sense. Feeling not sexual, but being confident in yourself in terms of sex appeal, and or just being confident. If it's not a sexual thing, if that's not your game, if you're not thinking of yourself in that way and that's not a priority in your life, just feeling confident and assured in who you are, and really being massively contented, not wanting for anything. With this in the reverse, it feels like you are wanting for something. So that could apply to the grads out there where you have graduated and now it's crunch time. I need a job. Or you have an internship. Will this turn into full-time employment? You don't know. So that's it. We have like this weird in-between space for you, Aquarius, where the warehouse has stock. There are items there. It's not like you feel like, the Hunchback of Notre Dame or anything like that. You know you have the abilities, like, even though your fridge isn't bare, your fridge isn't bare, but what's in the freezer? Hot Pockets? Okay, fine. It's like, maybe that's it, because you're in this weird transition phase. That would work for those where this is like a dissolvement of that marriage, or you're leaving the courtroom and, it's a weird thing to be done with something and then immediately move into this new world. And that's where I think you're feeling like a little unstable, a little unsure of your footing, a little unsure of what you have actually in the warehouse that you can rely on, that you can count on as being part of your reserves. Yeah? But again, I think that's like mostly perception. Again, if you've got Hot Pockets in the fridge, okay, you're not balling, but you're not starving either. So, kind of take a proper inventory of your life and understand yourself, okay? And it's a perception, because I think that's a temporary situation. Again, if you've just gotten out of college, you've just, earned your degree, you've just been granted a divorce by, the great state of wherever the hell you live. Okay, so not overnight are you going to feel like this. Like I said earlier with that Three of Cups, it's like the celebration feels good in the moment. You're glad to make memories with people. You're glad you're feeling loved and celebrated. Wonderful. And then eventually over time, perhaps because of this little guy in the center here, because your Three of Cups is on the opposite side of the Empress, right? It could be because of that interference or that energy that you get from that Page of Swords in the reverse, where, again, some of you are feeling this need to step up, to mature quickly. And when you kind of view yourself that way, again, I'm Dr. Aquarius. I just got my doctorate. I'm now licensed to practice, or I'm now given the authority to do XYZ as a professional. And you immediately transition into that status. But then you're thinking, but my cupboard is full of pancake mix, dollar store maple syrup, and Hot Pockets in my freezer. That's not the diet of a doctor. Like, you're really having like a little bit of a panic. I don't have the trappings. I don't have the makings, or if people were to come and look at my life, they would see I'm a fraud. So some of you are having like that, what do you call that? Imposter syndrome, right? I would say cut that out, because I feel like it's very rushed, like you're rushing to that conclusion, like, and you can convince yourself of something if you continue to think that way. If you just literally graduated first week of May, I hope to God you're not feeling this down on yourself in the second week of May. Like, if this is December 2019 and you still are bumping with Hot Pockets, maybe you might have reason to feel this way, but I just feel you're really digging yourself into a hole by having not such a great self-image right now. We don't want the Empress ever to be in the reverse position. She doesn't realize her worth. She doesn't realize her value. She doesn't realize what she can accomplish. Or if she does, she's thinking small. You need to think bigger, wider, more expansive, because there are no limits with the Empress. She's the sky's the limit type. because she knows she can make it work, okay? When she's in the upright. In this reverse position, which again might be influenced by this Page of Swords, either an actual person external to you or the energy of self-doubt and insecurity and having big shoes to fill, having to, you know, graduate quickly into adulthood. I got to start adulting now. And you're like, oh God, I've only been an adult for 15 minutes. How do I do this? Like, you're really overthinking the thing, okay? So I don't like that. That's not fun. I don't like that at all. But here's the thing. Yes, escape it. Got it. Because that's the problem. So maybe he's a little bit more problematic, or Page of Swords is a little bit more problematic than I initially thought. So right above that position, you have the Fool card. Secondary major arcana card for you, Aquarius, as it's ruled by Uranus. So what's the Fool do? As you can see, gets the hell out of Dodge, okay? This person, this woman, sitting on that luggage, thumb out to hitchhike. Got her little dog in tow. So maybe some of you are doing that, getting out of Dodge. Now, as you've graduated, you've divorced, you've finished whatever project. Maybe you were living in Boise, Idaho. I always say Boise. No offense to anybody who's in Boise, by the way. But anyway, maybe you've been, you know, working on something close with a certain company that's, you know, headquartered in Boise, and you're from New Jersey, and you've had a hell of a time living in Boise, and now you're just like, get me home to the shore. Get me home to the beaches. Get me home to the place where I don't have to pump my own gas, etc., etc. So you're very much anticipating getting back to something or getting away from something, yeah? And the Fool allows you to do that. That welcoming, that rush into, or that easy embrace of what's new, what's unpredictable, what's going to shake things up, what's going to, you know, set the new precedence here in my life, right? And the fact that it comes right above that Page of Swords in reverse, number one, this is a trump, right? All the major arcanas are trumps. So this trumps that page, squashes that energy right on out, okay? So you leaving town, or you blocking your ex, or you doing whatever the hell you have to do to get yourself on a new track, that is the momentum you need. That is all the momentum you need, okay? So it might be something like that, where now that you're done with whatever you've finished up in the beginning of May, or at the end of April, or some point previous to now, or maybe even still to come out in the month of May, once you're finished with it, I feel it would behoove you to jump straight into the new thing. Now, okay, let me caution a few of you out there, because, and you can do what you want, it's your life, but for those where you just got a divorce, you just broke up with somebody, I would not suggest jumping into a new relationship. I don't really see that here anyway. There's a lot of solo dolo action down here, so I'm not seeing that. But for those who might be thinking about it, I don't know that that's necessarily what you need. You can do what you want. You're an adult. You do whatever you want with your life, but I don't think that's going to serve you, because what I'm seeing with this Fool card, like I just said, solo dolo action, most of this. All right? You're going out on a new adventure, or you're going down a new pathway by yourself. Not in a lonely, I'm so lonely, I gotta do this myself. No, you're actually, I feel most of you would be resilient and kind of excited, because now I'm living on my own. Again, now with those who have those new degrees and those new careers, now I get to make a statement about who I am and how I'm going to be running a practice, or how I'm going to be running my own business, how I'm going to be as the head of this, or doing whatever in your career, okay? So there's a lot of self-intended or self-centered, in a good way, self-centered, self-concerned, there you go, we could say it that way, self-concerned energy right here. And it's, being that this is a trump, that Fool card would easily combat these two Swords cards, which are already in reverse, which again, to me, in this reading today, is showing a minimizing. So the Fool is enough to just squash him completely, if you go with it. If you resist the new thing, if you resist taking the risks, taking the leaps of faith, okay? So leaving Boise going back to New Jersey, even though you've had a wonderful experience in working in that internship or working with that company, but it's just like a lot of people are like, oh, you're going to go home? Some of you like need to return. See, that's kind of weird. Some of you need to return to something that you've been associated with before, your hometown or something like that. But then when you're in that hometown, don't get stuck in your old routine there. For those that might be returning to something, especially since we talked a lot about people who have graduated, okay? When you go home, live with mom and dad for a month or two, get out as soon as possible. If you can leave almost immediately, go for it. You worked that side hustle job all through college. You saved up some money. You got enough money for a deposit on an apartment. Boom, get into it. I feel there's a definite benefit, Aquarius, when you step out on your own. Okay? Solo dolo, single pringle, me, myself, and I. Just like that is your team. Me, myself, and I. Thank you, friends, for coming to celebrate me. Thank you, family, for all of your love and support, but now I got to do it my way, okay? Get rid of this little shrimp here, all right? He's annoying, okay? And go about your business. When you go about your business, or as you go about your business, here you go. Queen of Wands. Now, this is going to be an energy that you borrow, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or there is someone who might embody these energies, the energies of any of those signs, you know what I mean, the qualities of the fire signs, who, again, I think you're still going to be solo, but you might partner with them. So, okay, there we go. For those, I mean, that's the reality for many people out there. All right, you got your deposit for an apartment, but you still need a roommate. So this could be a roommate. This could be somebody that you team up with. I don't get this person is like a primary influence on you if it's an external person, by the way. Some of you will not meet anybody. Friend, new, don't date. Like, if you're going to date, don't be serious. Like, especially if you just broke up. That's for somebody. Like, one or two of you. Don't date seriously if you just broke up. Give it a minute. That's just my advice. I just feel that given all of this that's gone on and this half a full warehouse feeling that you have, are you in the right state of mind to date anybody anyway? If you're not feeling confident and sexy and feeling like, you're abundant and you just can rule the world all by yourself, then why would you date anybody? That's just me. Anyway, so if it is a potential dating partner, somebody you have your eye on, somebody that you're flirting with, okay, fine, just flirt. Okay, don't take it too far. But if it's not an external person, for you, Aquarius, this is that slow turnaround. Or not slow, but steady turnaround. Steady as much as like you could count on that horse to gallop at a steady pace, right? I feel there's this gain of you going and building yourself up to this status, which is actually a wonderful upgrade because regardless of the suits, swords, cups, pentacles, and wands, right? Some of you had that Page of Swords energy within yourself, that immature, naive, very inexperienced, young energy. If you, in time, or through your efforts of the Fool, I feel you graduate. And here we go, heavy on the graduation today. So by the way, congratulations if you have graduated. I don't think I said it, and I apologize. But you essentially graduate, you skip over or move quickly through the Knight phase, and you arrive at the Queen phase. If this is just for you, that's your energy, that's wonderful. And that, to me, kind of filters back into that Empress in reverse, and it begins to restock your warehouse. Because the Queen of Wands, very confident, number one, super confident, okay? Accomplished and creative and really savvy about things, very sharp, okay? She's full of commitment, she's full of compassion. Well, not compassion, but passion, I should say, because Queen of Pentacles is more compassion, and the Queen of Cups. But the Queen of Wands has passion, she has energy, she's vivacious, she's very energetic. And so whatever she commits her mind to, whatever she focuses her energy on, she takes care of it. She cultivates it very well. it's like a master of her craft. Okay? So in time, this is not some overnight thing, by the way. Okay? In time, Aquarius, we're going to get your resources built back up. We're going to stock that warehouse that the Empress has dominion over. Or if you don't want to think of it that way, you can always look at it and like think of her like restocking and like taking good care of her garden. You know, let's get some landscapers in here. Let's plant some new vegetation around here. So there's this idea of building back into this, or building it for the first time if you've never had that experience or you've never felt that way about yourself. Get ready. You can. You just have to take the proper risks. You have to move down the right path. Okay? Maybe partner with or take on the support or kinship I'm getting, like communal relationship with someone. Like I'm feeling like a roommate situation here between you and the Queen of Wands if it's an outside person. If it's not roommates, maybe it's a new project partner, like someone that you work with in a creative sense or a business sense. For a few of you, a dating thing, but there's nothing here that shows me you are in the right state of mind to get serious with somebody. So if it is dating, keep it casual, okay? That, none of that speaks to forever baby, forever mine, okay? No. Casual, let's be friends, let's have a little adult fun, okay, fine. sorry to, you know, shoot holes, and, you know, pop your balloon or burst your bubble. That's how we say it, burst your bubble. If you're really hoping to like get into something serious with someone, it doesn't seem to be in the cards. But okay. Outcome for you, Aquarius, in May. High Priestess. Well, secondary major arcana card for Cancer, as it's ruled by the moon. So some of you like might want to consult someone of status in your workforce, in your field. Interview them, take them out for lunch. You know, maybe, again, like for those who are starting your own business or your own practice, straight out of the gate, find someone who's like of your caliber. Either you're near your age, went to your specific school of pharmacy, whatever it is. And in an informal way, I think you could ask this person for mentorship. Not like in a, you know, official capacity, like I said, just like a casual thing. So, you know, over lunch. So how did you get started? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's interesting. I was thinking of doing this. Do you think that would work? Blah, 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 blah. And then at the end, so could I just email you once a month or something like that if I have questions about what I'm doing and how I could, you know, speak to these people? You know, it's like that. Like, please counsel me, but in a very detached way or very distanced way. So this could be former professors of yours. This could be someone that you've made contact with out in Boise, Idaho. You're like going back to New Jersey. So I still want to work with you, Tammy, but I'm not staying here. I need to get out of Boise, you know, and it's just like that. So someone might fulfill that role for you, or you might find, even if they don't want to like stay in contact, they might, you know, give you plenty of information and useful knowledge in that lunch. But there is this, I feel there's someone in your midst who has insight to what you want, to what you're working towards, or they see things that you don't see, and it would be helpful if you just have a dialogue with them, because the High Priestess is about unknown knowledge that she possesses all knowledge. Not to say this person is some type of, you know, all-knowing, omnipotent person, but they know a lot more about a certain subject than you do. So the characteristic, though, would be, I know a lot. I'm not going to tell you everything. I'm not going to give you all the answers. I'm not going to, you know, just willy-nilly tell you the entire story of your life. That would be the high priestess talking, because that would ruin it. You know, the part of the high priestess, or I suppose the hiccup or the hitch or the catch, there it is, the hitch. The catch with the high priestess is she knows it all, but if she were to tell you everything, it would alter your life story. It would alter your path in life. So there is only so much information that can be shared with you. So someone has that capacity in your life. For those where you have a business concern, you have a career path concern, mentor, your old professors, someone you're in close contact with, like a business contact, a client or a vendor, something like that. And if it's not work, I do feel for those who might be, and we haven't talked much about it until we came up to the Queen of Wands, but for those, but it kind of makes sense, because the Empress is about love and affection and all types of romantic relationships, and she's in reverse. And then we have the Queen of Wands, which I said, sure, partner, sure, date, but I don't know about long term. So for those where you have a romantic concern, the High Priestess could be a tarot reader, could be a psychic, could be a medium, could be someone that you go to and you're just like, what's in store for my love life? And it's, you know, they will tell you whatever they're going to tell you. I think for some of you that will help you, that will give you some clarity, that will give you some type of guidance. Maybe it'll give you peace of mind once you ask that question of a certain tarot reader or psychic or whoever. But I feel in that particular case, you're nervous about the answer that this person would give you. Or you're unsure of the answer that you receive. You don't believe it. You know, in that particular situation, what that person might say to you might run counter. Pick it back up. I always do it. Thank you. What they tell you might be the antithesis of what your own intuition tells you. So like I said, and I could be wrong, you know, that's always possible. Where I said, I don't know about being serious with the Queen of Wands, I'm saying that right now. That doesn't mean come September, October, or something like that, or even sooner, July, that person couldn't turn into a long-term partner. When you first meet them, I'm saying no. I feel a no. I feel a just keep it casual, just keep it light, keep it fluffy, keep it airy, keep it non-committal. But your intuition says, oh man, he or she's the one. I know we're just going into this as roommates, or I know we're just going into this as friends, but oh my God, I can't see myself with anybody else. This is for like a few of you. Most of you don't even have your mind on love. But for those who do, this High Priestess, when you talk to her, and maybe that's it, the timing is of the essence, right? When you talk to her or him, it doesn't matter. You know, we all of us come in different shapes and sizes and packages, right? So whoever you talk to, they might confirm what I said. No. But your intuition says, yes, they're the one. I always say, well, I don't always say, I think I say it, but I never say it. I'm sorry. When you go and you watch any tarot reader, whether they say it or not, you need to interpret what they say. Don't take it as face value. Don't take it as facts of life, okay? You have to reinterpret. You have to kind of mold it. If it's moldable, if it fits your life, and kind of piece together what you're supposed to piece together. Find a shape that makes sense to you. Like I said, some of you don't give a shit about dating. So what I just said means nothing to you. But it means something to the next person. So that's what I'm saying. And you have to trust your own intuition in that. If you believe the Queen of Wands, or whoever it could be, is a long-term partner for you, explore it, but do what you want. It's your life. And again, the energies will shift anyway. So I say that because I don't want to discourage anybody, and I'm not trying to, piss on anybody's parade here. I'm really not trying to burst your bubble for real. But in this moment, as I encounter these energies, as I read this for you, they're nice. The connection is potentially there. You guys have commonality. They're definitely an upgrade from that Page of Swords you were dealing with that you just broke up with or got divorced from or whatever. So there is an upgrade there, but something isn't quite clear yet to make you guys come together. I will say that, okay? I had to clarify for somebody because I feel I probably hurt somebody's feelings. Now, your overall is the Four of Coins. So you've had, and again, this is your overall energy. So for a while, you've been in some held back energy, some withheld structure, or like I said, you know, you were working towards your master's thesis or doctorate, whatever. Now you're free. You're graduated, blah, blah, blah. Others of you have been patient, withdrawn into yourself in order to kind of understand something more, or withheld money. Like, I think this is really speaking towards what has happened or what has led up to your moment in May, or this development and this unraveling of or transition into a new phase. I think this is speaking to what has happened previous to the transition, okay? I wouldn't worry too much about it. I mean, it's not much to worry about because this Four of Coins is, and just like the traditional tarot also, is actually very stable, actually very secure, like isn't desperately clinging on, but would prefer to hold on to whatever safety or stability and money that has existed previous to this. So some of you are losing money when you move home, okay? And instead of living with mom and dad, you know, rent-free or semi-rent-free, you go straight into an apartment. So you don't want to give up that $1,800 for a deposit. And you don't want to have to pay, you know, $1,000 a month in rent. But that's what you have to do. So there's this moving from holding, saving, to letting it out. But that's down the line. This is speaking to what you've done in preparation for knowing you will have to eventually move off of this. You'll have to eventually get into motion. You'll have to eventually pay out money for something, okay? Oh, that's cute. And even behind there, for those lovebirds out there, you got a Two of Cups behind here. So maybe that is a transition. And maybe that is kind of telling you what I said already. Hold on. Don't go rushing into it. In time, after the transition, after the dust settles a little bit, after you get a little bit of stability under your feet, after you get a steady paycheck, after you get reacclimated to living in New Jersey again, then maybe we get a little Two of Cups action with somebody. Don't go home trying to hook up with somebody immediately. I don't think it's the best idea. I just don't, okay? But you do what you want. We're all adults here, right? Aquarius, that's the reading for May. If you liked it, like button is down below. If you want to comment down below, I would appreciate that as well. You can hit the share button. Show everybody what you're doing with your time on YouTube. You can share, excuse me, you can share this across your social media platforms. I would appreciate it. And of course, you can subscribe if you are not subscribed. It's a low-level commitment. Yeah, I don't think you want to commit to that person, but you can commit to me. I'm just kidding. If you don't want to do any of that stuff, I totally respect it. But if you do, it helps a girl out. It helps the channel grow. It gets my exposure out there. It lifts me up the very, 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 very tall ladder of tarot readers on YouTube. It just moves me up a rung every time somebody subscribes, every time somebody likes it, okay? So if you want to help me do that stuff, I do appreciate it. All right, so I'm going to be back in probably about a week and a half when I do the mid-May readings for you guys. And after that, I'll be back doing your June readings. So some things to look forward to, guys, all right? Aquarius, I thank you guys so much for watching up until this point. Take care. Bye.